I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I could have been in prison. No more remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now, can't I?
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Off play action. Bennett. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. The Falcons at 5-3 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
A first down carry by Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now Bennett to throw. Throwing on first down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Operating from the gun. Bennett. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. After the turnover, here's Herbert. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Johnston. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Back to throw here, Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Herbert back to the air. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Throw left side complete. That's Johnston. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Herbert operating from the red zone. Flush to his right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Now it's Herbert. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. So that's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures touchdown, Chargers. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah. Well.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Falcons, nothing.
Bennett now, off play action. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Bennett. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. On the counter, Elliott. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Bennett. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 44-yard line. Off the play fake. Bennett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. A shotgun snap for Herbert. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. It'll be a gain of 2. And speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Bennett looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off play action. Bennett. He's got Smith here. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. They'll try and throw for it here. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Herbert now. He finds his target, Allen. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Herbert. Touchdown! Mike Williams, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score. Chargers 21, Falcons nothing.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Here's Bennett off the play fake. And he's got it to Patterson, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Back to throw. Bennett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Michael Davis.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy. Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Now Bennett, a final shot before break. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going. Herbert on 1st down now. And that one complete downfield to Allen. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 33 yards that time.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Keenan Allen, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point good by Hopkins, and it is 28-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On second down, Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. Operating from the gun. Herbert eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Under pressure, they got him again. The Falcons going to use another timeout. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in the second half.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
They snap it to Herbert. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And now here is another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Chargers.
On first down, Justin Herbert. Flushed out right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A.
A familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline, because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Takes it at the 7.
Mike Hughes on the return. The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now Bennett to throw. Throwing again. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. They'll try and run for it with Allen. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Back to throw. Bennett. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Rookie to rookie on the hookup there, and it's a first down. Off the play fake, Bennett. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. This is Smith with a grab.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Bennett. Buying time to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Back to throw again. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it is 42-0.
The Chargers 42, Falcons nothing.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A Charger first there as Herbert finds Williams. Now a give running left is Eckler. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Extra point good by Hopkins. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 6. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10.
Let's go. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working?
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Bennett. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Cordero Patterson, 74 yards.
And the Falcons are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Koo able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard at the Falcons' 40.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, Eckler. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now a whistle and a timeout defensively. Trying to stop it, and they do with 2 seconds to go prior to the 2-minute warning. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. It's Eckler again. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. On 4th down, Herbert. Throw right side, complete to Williams. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Bennett now, throwing to start the drive. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. In motion, Patterson. Bennett on 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Koo now for the point after. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Charger drive about to get going.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
Hey, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So, for the Chargers, they moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory.
And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. To hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold veins. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. The West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me?